Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we have Jake from alternative rock band Red Brick Road.
I'm doing good. How are you doing? Good.
Late one day, Rick was walking down the street, badly in need of a fix. Too bad his pockets were empty, so he had that thieving itch. Rick seen a dark house and fumbled about, but figured what the hell, he might as well check it on out. But as soon as he broke in, the sight of the owner scared him out. What did you do? Does your conscience bother you?
I wanted to go into some of your background, how you got into music, what age, what inspired you to get into music.
I've been in music longer than I can remember, so I could give some key points when I knew I was going to stick with it, but I can't really remember starting because I think I started playing guitar like 3 or 4 years old. So and experimenting with songwriting like as far as like near that far back too. Um, I started going to concerts when I was a bit older, though. My dad always took me to a lot of concerts, and he took me to like Steve Miller Band, the Counting Crows, a couple other ones like that. The biggest one that sticks out in my mind, though, we have a place by our house. I'm from the Detroit area. It's called Freedom Hill. It's like a probably a 10,000 person venue outdoor, and we went there to see Boston. And I was a little kid, and I was able to get on stage with them and like air guitar, and I was like looking out at like 10,000 people in like a sold out venue. And yeah, like right there is like that's like one of the moments that like sticks in my head about like knowing I wanted to stick with it. The other moments for me throughout the years of doing this when I got older, excuse me, when I got older and stuff, the things that really stick out is meeting people and people telling me how my songs changed them and stuff. That's now taken over more than like kind of like the vanity thing of wanting to get the big stages and stuff. I mean, I still want to get the big stages, but I'm content where we're at and where we're going, because every time I meet people and they're like, "Hey, I really love this song. It changed my life." I'm like, that's how I know I'm in the right thing.
Now, as far as like bands back then, what kind of music were you into back then when you were like growing up and starting into music?
Growing up, a lot of classic rock, but not as much as I was more into like post hardcore and emo and like my and pop punk. My favorite bands, if you were to ask like me like in my like teenage years, probably would have been like Blink 182, Nirvana, um, David Bowie, even though that one's more classic rock, but I've just always loved him. Um, David Bowie, My Chemical Romance, Brand New, Taking Back Sunday, and then a lot of the 90s stuff too. Like I said, Nirvana, but Soundgarden, Alice in Chains. So I guess I've always been kind of like 90s to early 2000s was like where most like my favorite bands came from.
How did the band form? How did that come together?
When my old band had broken up, I was kind of sick of being in bands because there's always the factor of working with other people, and just like any job, if you're not working with other people, then you're not going to have a good time if you're not with the right people. I mean, so when my other band had split, I kind of like wanted to do a solo project thing for like some time, because I was kind of just burnt out on other musicians because I wasn't with the right one. But at the time, I was putting this on to like all other people, not realizing I just had the wrong friends. Not that, everyone's bad people, but I had a negative outlook. So I started like kind of like a solo project thing, and I got burnt out on it really quick, because anyone who plays music knows that like 95% of the fun of it is playing with other people. So I got burnt out on it real quick, but I had a good collection of songs. And my brother had moved home from college, and he was our original drummer. He's not with us anymore, but he's the one that was played on our first record. And so me and him kind of just like me and my brother have always been in and out of bands together since we were kids. Like even if it wasn't like always like a named band, like still just like us jamming, you know. It wasn't always like something super serious. So me and him like kind of started playing together again. And then we met Chris, our guitar player, through some mutual friends. And like as soon as I met him, me and him just really hit it off from like a songwriting perspective, and like we just have like a really good ability to be able to write songs together and like really flow off each other and like put things together in that way. We both have pretty good sense of melodies and stuff like that. So yeah, it's cool. So then Chris stuck with it. He's still with me in the band, and then we got his old drummer actually is now our new drummer in this band. So
Over the past year with the lockdown and everything, what did you do during that period of time?
write songs. For a while we put out this we put out a series called the Quarantine Tapes that was all covers and stuff. But when we put out our original album back in April, we were told by the marketing people we were working with and stuff, who kind of, they're not really a label, but they kind of act as one in the ways of advice and stuff. And they told us that we either needed to license those songs or we needed to take them all down. So we took all those down. They're still on there privately because sometimes I do like to show friends and stuff, but we took them down publicly. So we did that. That was a big thing we did. That took up a lot of time. Also, while that was going on, we were finishing the last album, mostly just the finishing touches on it and stuff. And then yeah, then coming out of it, we were able to get another couple music videos done, stuff like that. We did 3 or 4 live streams. Yeah, we kept busy, but it wasn't nearly as fun as being able to go out and play.
You released Work of Heart, the album, in March of 2021. Positive feedback from that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been really great as far as it goes. I mean, we're not like blowing up or anything yet, but yeah, like most of the feedback we've gotten, almost all of it has been pretty positive. We've definitely met a lot of new outlets and stuff through it, and more people discovering us, like yourself. I'm not too sure how exactly you found us, but I believe it was through sharing something like that off that album. So yeah, it's been a lot of positive feedback. It's started to open some new doors for us, which is nice because now we just kind of have like more of a full product out there. But I mean, even the nicest part about it too is like we also kind of realized where we screwed up on the first one, like not just screwed up in like playing or like production styles or how things were written, but also screwed up like in marketing areas, and like there's just different ways to do things. So we're really excited for our next album cycle to do things differently, and doing, we've all improved a lot as musicians as well since this first album came out. So I mean, it's like what you can accomplish in a year's time is pretty amazing, because like this album was mostly in the recording process like almost a year before it came out, and then we had to skip our last dates to finish the last few songs for the album were booked like right in the beginning of like the quarantine. And so like at the studio and stuff, people were still really scared and didn't even want to have like a small amount of people, so we pushed those dates off by a few months. So we've been done recording this for like over a year now. So by the time the second album comes out, it'll actually probably be a year apart from when this one came out, but 2 years from when the recording was completed on it. And like we've all just really improved as musicians and songwriters and stuff, or at least I believe we have. So I'm really excited to see what we can do on this second record, and just to like push ourselves and get better and be better.
Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about that album. You have like, it sounds like all kinds of different genres and different songs throughout there. Like in Rule the World, it got like an old 80s kind of sound to it. Um, did you go into thinking that's what you were looking for on that song, or how did that come about?
Yeah, well, like Chris had originally written "Rule the World." That's like one of the few songs me and him didn't really write together for the album, but he had came to the table with that song already. And yeah, no, we definitely knew like what direction we were going in with it. That we wanted that one to have more of like the '80s style to it and stuff like that. And we kind of like with every song on the album, they're all really different from each other. And once in a while, and only once in a while, that can be like our downfall. We have had people, very few of them, but people tell us like we don't know how to book you or market you because you guys are just like doing too many different things. But at the day and age we live in now with like Spotify and you have all these different genres at like the click of your finger, like more and more people are starting to do this, and like we don't see a reason why we have to play one style of music. So like we're very eclectic, and yeah, our next album is going to be even worse for as far as how many different genres, because we definitely are going more of a pop direction too, which is fun. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what I got from it. You don't have to pigeonhole your style to one certain genre or subgenre. You if you start out with all of them, then you could go wherever you want and nobody expects anything. They're expecting the unexpected from you every time.
Right. Yep.
Every now and then I get a little lost and then I don't know what to do. So I hide behind the songs to figure out who I am. Every day's a new start, at least that's what they say. Colorful memories and dreams, they'll be on their way. Everything is not what it seems. You don't have to separate real and dreams. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna make it.
Another song you had was Slick Rick. And it's kind of rappy. It reminds me of like old Beastie Boys, maybe back in there. Um and then you got like a kind of like a Weezer type of chorus and stuff. I just wanted to get into how you went about coming up with this style for this song.
Well, that one, what really inspired like the vocal style at least was, so it's that's actually the sequel song to Bobby Joe. So Bobby Joe is about when Slick Rick breaks into his house, but it focuses on Bobby Joe and the kid who gets the innocent kid that gets killed. But I had a friend ask me what happened to the actual thief from Bobby Joe, and he told me I should write a song about it because he said I'm probably not the only person who's listened to that song and wondered about it. So I wrote Slick Rick to tell the story of what happened to the thief that got away. And what really inspired like the vocal style was it just turned out to be too many words to sing. Like they just had to be delivered like more in a rap way. Either that or it was cut verses in half, and then that means cut the story in half, and then that's just more work in the end than rapping it. So yeah, we definitely just kind of set out to do more of like a rap rock thing with that one, and the chorus to kind of like you said keep it almost like Weezer, kind of like a poppy catchy rock chorus, keep that part real catchy, and then just have the verses like really punchy so that it's, we like to use a lot of duality in our songs, whether it be like a soft chorus with a heavy verse, or heavy verse soft chorus. However, that one turned out to be really punchy choruses kind of with like or verses with like a kind of softer chorus, so it gives that duality, and it kind of like takes you for a ride, rather than just kind of listening to it and having the same dynamics all the way through. Because I think that's one thing that can make a song really boring is when there's no dynamic change, and then you even start to not be able to tell the verse from the chorus. And yeah, so I like to keep things different. As many change ups as we can have in a song is good, until we start pushing that whole border of math rock, and then it's like, okay, maybe we don't need 9 different changes. But yeah.
Another one of the songs off that album is After Party. And it sounds like My Chemical Romance kind of mixed in with kind of like a softer The Used band. And it just got you with a piano on it. How did that come about?
First off, thanks for saying that about My Chemical Romance and the Used, because that was definitely a huge influence on that song, and it was also my huge argumentative point when we were talking about putting this song on the album of why I thought it would fit, because I'd be like, well, screw you, My Coco Romance and The Used have done it. We can do it, you know? We could put the softer song on the album. People aren't going to care. That one came about. I wrote the words, so I wrote the lyrics to it. At least like the first verse and the chorus idea, they were different, but it was there. The idea was there, and that one we kind of just wrote by. I knew I wanted it on piano, and Chris, the guitar player, who's also the keyboardist, you'll see, if you've seen the video, he's the one with the long hair and stuff, really recognizable guy. But so like he's really good at like picking up on like what key I'm singing in. Like sometimes I know, other times I don't. Like I'm not pitch perfect, but I do have like some key recognition. And so like I just started singing it over and over again, like looping it, and then like he just started like coming up with like the piano line for it, which was just like really cool. And it just like instantly worked, and we just worked through it like that. And then it just got to the point where we were like, yeah, we don't really need anything else in this song, because we had played around in some demos with adding guitars, adding drums, like stuff like that, you know. And we just decided we liked it best keeping it as raw as possible, keeping it more emotive and stuff, because it's like the more stripped down it is, it seems to be like the more passionate it is. Like I know no one else has ever heard the version with like guitars and stuff on it, but I have, and it, to me, it doesn't sound as it gets it makes it very Home Sweet Home-esque, like, you know, like Motley Crue, like at the end where it gets big like that, it makes it almost like a power ballad and not so much of like an emotional like tyranny type thing. So yeah.
That's always good to have in a band, is when your guitar player can connect with you like on that musical level. Have you ever experienced anything before in any of your previous bands, or is this the first time this has happened?
No, yeah, this is the first time, and I tell Chris this all the time. Is I'm like, dude, I never knew it could be like so easy and like could get along with like someone so well. Like I always thought that like there was like compromises, because like I was saying earlier, like after my old band and my bands before that, like I was about to do like a solo thing, just because I thought like all like people just like, you know, I was gonna have to compromise too much. And then like when me and Chris started working together, we've always like said like we have like the John and Paul like type like telepathy, like because just like since day one, it like just didn't even really have to be developed or anything like that. Like I mean, we became better songwriters together. The things we were writing day one weren't as good, but we still had like the telepathy there, just almost like knowing where the person's going next before they go there. So yeah, I'm super happy to have him in the band, and our drummer Steve as well, because they also give me a lot of leeway with my ideas and stuff, like because I do a lot of the writing, or most of the writing for the videos and stuff too. And one thing I've fought with before is like other people like wanting to use like completely different ideas, or not getting like why we're like doing like these strategical music videos that are storylines, and being like, well, why don't we all just go stand on top of a building with the wind blowing and play our instruments, you know? And I've worked with people like that, but these guys, that's like one of the reasons I appreciate them so much too, because like they're like really good at like supporting the ideas, like the after party video, for example, which is like this storyline video, and pretty much has, other than like show the piano scenes and some of like my lip syncing parts, there's nothing really in that video to say we're even in the band. And like everyone was cool with it though. They were like, yes, that's like a great story that shows more of the song, let's do it.
Yeah, it's like they have your vision, you know.
Right, yeah, yep. And even if they don't have the vision, they at least, you know, get it enough to like support it, and full round support it too.
What do you guys got coming up next? Any shows in the future?
Yeah, so in October 22nd, we have a show, and we're also going to be releasing a new song in October. Around the time of that show, I'm not sure if it'll be the same day, but yeah, this week, all last week and all this week, I've pretty much been working on getting costumes and stuff for this. We're doing another music video this coming Sunday. We're going to be shooting it, and then it'll be edited and stuff. And the music video, I can say, will come out on Halloween. I'm just not positive when the song is, because we're going to release it before the video comes out. So a couple weeks before would be when the song's going to come out. And then yeah, so I've been putting pretty much all my time and energy into that lately, just figuring it out. I did like the final draft of the script for it, like, or the shot list, I should say. There's not really a script because there's not dialogue, but the shot list for it. I did the final draft the other day, and I'm really excited. We're working with a new team on this one, a new video team. So it's gonna be cool to see how it goes. These guys are really cool, and they're really creative and stuff, and they have like a lot of their own good ideas. And I'm not saying anything bad about um, the last people we worked with. They were all great too, but it's just always fun to like bring in like new collaborative people, because it just you don't know how it's going to turn out then, because it starts with the raw idea, but you never know like the side input ideas and stuff that are going to happen. So it's always a lot of fun for me, is working with new people.
I have one more question about one of your songs. You released a cover of "Good for You." Um, what was your idea about that? Were you just trying to do a cover song, or did you like that song, or how did that come about?
Yeah, so kind of both. One was we knew with this new song that we have coming out that's a single. I don't think it's going to be on the second record. I think it's going to stay a single. And the last thing we put out for the Work of Heart stuff was a few months ago, and we knew we kind of had like this July, August, September period to that we weren't going to be putting anything out, because we've wanted this song because it kind of like it fits for Halloween time. It's a darker song. It kind of like plays into like some horror thematics and stuff in the songwriting, storytelling and stuff. Like, it's not like shock rock or anything like Alice Cooper, but it does. It has like themes of like horror in it. So like we knew it'd be like, and we also knew from doing the album how long it takes to get a video done, get a lyric video done, all this other stuff. So like we knew we had this gap to fill, like to just put something out to kind of like tell people like, hey, we're still around. So yeah, that song, like we just really liked that song. Like we were fans of it, for one. Like, we'd listen to it when we were hanging out and stuff, and it's a good song. And then it was also, it spent so many like weeks at like Billboard #1. We were like, hey, how about we just cover this, like to like fill that space in between our releases. So we did. We just, we called it Operation Warp Speed, because like we had to like get with the studio and be like, hey, we need this song done by the end of the week, because we're shooting the music video for it next week. And like I actually ended up cutting my vocals on it the morning before we shot the music video for it. So I was in the studio doing the vocals, making everyone that was there promise me they were good, because once I lip sync to them, there's no going back, because then it's going to screw up the video. I had left the studio with the like the mix of it that wasn't mastered yet, but so we could use the mix to shoot the video to. Came back to my house, met up with everyone so we could shoot the video, and I mean, it was like just one long day. And then we had it, and we wanted to put it out, and it took like a whole week to get the rights for it, like license it, because like we wanted to do it like, because we don't want our YouTube or anything getting shut down, because we get so many views on our own music. It's like, if we're going to put a cover on it, that's why, like I was saying, with the other covers, we took them down. It's too much of a risk. So yeah, then we had to get it licensed, and that took like a week, but we got it out there. It's out now. It was fun. It was a lot of fun. Covers can be fun.
Where could we get a hold of you guys? Facebook, Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook is Red Brick Road MI, I think. But I think if you just search Red Brick Road, it comes up. But I think it's / Red Brick Road MI. Instagram is Red Brick Road Music. Twitter is X Red Brick Road X. We also have a website, which is www.redbrickroadrocks.com, which is where you could find all our music, everything. There's a contact form on it too, for anyone who might want to get us on their show or anything similar like that, or book us at a venue. Let us know. You can use the contact form. I think I hit all of them. YouTube is just Red Brick Road.
That's all the questions I have. Do you have anything else to add?
No, just check out the song, and next month when it comes out, check out the video. It'll be out on Halloween, so it's gonna be fun. We're definitely playing into the Halloween stuff and everything for it. So we like to have fun with this stuff, and Halloween's a fun time of year. So we figured we might as well drop a Halloween video on Halloween.
Took it too far this time. Said she wanna feel like she was flying.